Hi, Sharice.
Oh,
How are you? I'm Dr. Wallace. It's good to see you. I'm glad you were able to make it in. How are you?
Dr. Wallace. I honestly don't know. Like I was telling your assistant over the phone, I feel hopeless right now. There's a lot going on with my dad and with my faith, and it's just like two of the things I love the most, I'm having to choose between. So I'm kind of in an emotional, not roller coaster, but I'm just emotionally drained.
Okay. So, you said there's a lot going on with your dad. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I can't believe this is happening. I went to Cuba, and for some odd reason, some of our members from the church I'm associated with, they were there as well. They saw me with my girlfriend. And the background that I'm from, that's a negative. You know, my family's from Africa. My father is very rooted in his cultural upbringings, and that's kind of what we grew up understanding. But living here in America, there's a totally different culture. There's a different mind frame of the people, and personally, I feel like whatever I want to do with my life, as long as I do it for me, I don't see why it has to involve everyone else. And well, long story short, he told me that I can leave the church and the leadership because I'm one of his ministers, and or I can I can leave my girlfriend. And it's kind of hard to build a relationship with someone so intimately and then not be with them. And I'm not talking about a sexual intimacy. I'm talking about that level of respect and understanding, and just in conversation, just becoming one with the person outside of having to do that in a way that I can't with my own father. He's all about business, he's all about the ministry, and there are just certain needs that he can't meet for me. And if I go with him, it's not going to be based on God, it's going to be based on my relationship with my father. And I just really feel like God wants me to be happy. You know, I don't think that, I mean, I understand what the Bible says, but it's just something inside of me that I don't know. I guess I'm just confused. It's just a lot.
And it's understandable. It's a difficult situation because you love both of them, right? You love your father and you love your partner. Excuse me. So you said with your dad, he's very traditional. Like he's a minister or a preacher. So he has his specific views about that type of lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what was that like growing up? Like, were you ever able to talk to your dad about how you felt? Like, did you start feeling this way when you were younger? Is it something more recent, like after you got out of school, or when did it start for you?
I can't really pinpoint a time. And I don't want to say it just happened. I guess it was just things that I never noticed before because I was always fulfilling my father's dream. I was always doing what my father told me to do. I never really ventured out. I didn't have boyfriends. I didn't do all the things that your normal teenage adolescent girl would do. So, we were always in church services. My father's a pastor, so really. But it was just that I guess maybe it was more recent, or maybe it's always been there. I'm really not sure. But growing up with his rules and how stern and how strict he was, I never ventured out, so I really don't know.
Okay. You said your dad's from Africa, East Africa?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and I'm not an expert on African culture, certainly, but from what I do understand a little bit, that they are very, very strict against homosexuality.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I certainly can understand why, if you did feel the way you did, you didn't tell your dad, because he is a stickler for tradition, and being that culture doesn't accept homosexuality, I can see how that would be difficult. Do you think maybe that could be a reason why you never acknowledged the feelings that you had? Like maybe that's why it kind of took longer for it to come out, because maybe subconsciously you knew how it would be viewed in your household.
Yeah. I also believe that there's actual an inner turmoil, because my faith is not just based off of my father. My faith is a actual relationship that I have with God, and I do care. I believe his word. I can't say that I believe this portion, but I don't believe that one. I'm going to live up to this portion, and I'm not going to live up to that one. And it's kind of like I was in it before I could just really, I'm in too deep. So, I don't know, Doc, man. I don't know what to do. I just feel I have overwhelming anxieties. I'm not myself. I find myself just doing things that I would normally do. Nothing crazy. I'm not trying to hurt myself or hurt others, but I'm very depressed. I can't sleep. When I do sleep, I'm sleeping. I'm asleep, but my body's not resting. My mind isn't resting. It's just a lot. I think I'm making myself sick.
Now, look, you made a really interesting statement just a moment ago about, excuse me, being in too deep. What do you mean by being in too deep?
It started off, I believe, as more of a admiration for her and an actual and pure, like, wow, this person is phenomenal. And there was a flirtation that was there, but I was just too modest to see it. And it's not just her. I was the same way. And before I knew it, there was an ownership there, an ownership that you don't have just with your friends.
Right.
So I just woke up one day and my heart was, you're mine and I'm yours, and it just became a little bit more intimate than it started out to be, I guess. I don't know, man. I just want out of everything. And that's not me. I'm not a person to abandon anything, because I know what it's like to be abandoned. So, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to find myself and...
Okay. I think I wanna to talk a little bit more about your relationship with your family, because I think that's a big factor in why you feel so torn right now, but also why you sought the relationship you sought. Because I think that has a lot to do with it. Excuse me, not having a good relationship with your dad certainly would affect anybody. Because, we need the love and support of our parents and our family. That's one of the great things about being in a family is the support that you get. And so I think that you not getting that or feeling like you got that from them is kind of what is making all this so much harder. Not just your faith and knowing, how that kind of plays into it, but I think a lot of it is your family. Hold on. So, yeah, I really do want to delve a little bit deeper into your family. What your relationship with your dad is like with your mom. Because that's important, too. You haven't really talked about her at all. It's more so with your dad, which, like I said, I think is a really, really big factor. But we need to look into what's going on with you and your mom. You have brothers and sisters? Yeah. And see, you haven't said anything about them either. So I understand, your dad is the head of the household. He's the head of the family. His approval is very important. Especially since, in a way, you're kind of following in his footsteps, being a minister yourself. But, yeah, I do want to look into that more. We're going to dig a little deeper into that. And two, what your dad believes, what he brought with him from Africa, how that plays a part in your family life here. Because like you said, the cultures are different. And so I want to dig in deeper in that area to see if that's, all of this is kind of like a catalyst for why you are so torn, but why you felt like you couldn't share this information about your relationship with your family. A relationship that you say made you very happy. So we're going to do that, though. And I want you to think about that, how your dad's values kind of clash with the values that you learn here. Because you were born here, right? Yeah. So you're born into this culture and the way people see things here, but your dad doesn't see it that way. Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about that. How has that been an issue for you growing up? And then, too, of course, about your relationship with your mother and your siblings. What factors do those play in the course your life has taken? But we'll do that next week. Okay. When we have a little bit more time to get into, those issues. But I do want to thank you for coming in today. I know time is kind of winding down, and so, we're going to close it out. But thank you for coming so much. I appreciate it. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. And just see my assistant to set up.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Oh.
She'll have that information for you out there. But just set up a time with her for next week, and we can get right back into it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.